Hey everyone, welcome to World Heritage Journey. Today we're at the archaeological sites of Mycenae and Tiryns in Greece. Now the Mycenaean civilization was a pre-Hellenic culture that flourished at the end of the Bronze Age from around 1600 to 1200 BC. Now this was their capital city, Mycenae, and the Acropolis, the upper city, sat on top of the hill just over here. Let's have a look around. So one of the most famous spots here in Mycenae is of course the Lion Gate that you can see just behind me. Now this is the main entrance to the citadel, and the top of the doorway is crowned by two massive lion figures. Well, it's believed they're lions. They might actually be lionesses or perhaps even griffins because their heads have been lost to time. Now the figures date from around 1250 BC, which makes them the oldest monumental relief anywhere in Europe. And it's just absolutely spectacular here with the enormous walls as well. They're known as the Cyclopean walls because it was believed at one point only a Cyclops could have built them. The stone blocks are just that massive. So we've moved now up to the top of the citadel, and the ruins that you can see behind me are from the palace, which is actually surprisingly modest, though it's believed that probably part of it at least has fallen down the hill. Now it dates from around 1200 BC, though it doesn't appear to have been in use for that long. It seems to have been destroyed by a fire at about the same time. Though there's evidence as well that it had been in use for over 1,000 years before that, which is really cool. Now Mycenae is intricately connected with the Trojan Wars and the poems of Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey, because the king here, Agamemnon, was one of the commanders-in-chief during the Trojan campaign. Now what we know here is thanks largely to a man named Heinrich Schliemann, a 19th century archaeologist who did a lot of excavation both here and in Troy in western Turkey. Now he was very good at discovering things, he was very good at publicizing what he'd discovered, but the detail of cataloguing and taking care of the site, he was not so good at that. A lot of his methods did involve dynamite. And these days he's generally thought of in a negative light rather than a positive one, but it's still great to come here and see his discoveries. So we've moved now to the city of Tiryns, about 20 kilometers to the south of Mycenae, and this was one of the other great centers of power in the kingdom. Now it's a tall walled city that sits on top of a hill, and the walls here are absolutely tremendous. They're about 9 meters high in places and 6 meters thick, which is just absolutely incredible and very, very impressive. Now the hill has been occupied since the early Bronze Age around 3000 BC, but it reached the peak of its power and splendor during the Mycenaean period around 1600 to 1200 BC. And I've had a really fascinating day here today. I've really loved just wandering around the ruins and seeing everything from such ancient kingdoms, These things are over 3,000 years old, and that's just so incredible. I also love that I studied the Mycenaean kingdom back in history class in high school many years ago, and so to come here and see it in the flesh has been really, really fun. But that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you thought, hit subscribe if you'd like to see more from the World Heritage Journey. I'll see you next time.